The search for winter in the Southern Hemisphere is no easy undertaking. Trials and tribulations are part of the journey. 1 year after the failed attempt on Antarctica, the group got the call they were hoping for from famed South Pole expedition leader Doug Stoup.
Doug calls us back and says he chartered another boat, and we're on. We're leaving the pier this year, on our way to Antarctica.
Chris Davenport was unable to join the adventure this year, but coming along on this expedition to put down ski tracks in places that have never seen footprints are Kip Garr, Andrew McLean, and John Morrison. Kip Garr is an Alaskan heli guide.
I can't imagine not traveling and skiing. It's become a lifestyle for a lot of people, and it's something that is hard to quit.
Andrew McLean is a ski mountaineering legend with over 150 first ascents to his name.
The whole idea of skiing is just a wild adventure. You never know what you're going to find. A lot of it is just, finding a line and picking it and skiing it.
John Morrison can usually be found hitting up the biggest peaks of the Sierra Nevada, but he's always up for a new adventure.
Well, it's great to feel like we're going off the map. These undiscovered lands is really, really exciting.
Antarctica is very, very hard to get to. Exploration really didn't start until the early 1900s and late 1800s. The first person to get to the South Pole was Amundsen in 1910.
Like it was for Amundsen, the biggest hurdle facing the crew was crossing the deadly Drake Passage. With cyclones, sea ice cover, and intense west winds, the journey can be unpredictable, to say the least. After 24 hours of navigating the treacherous southern seas, Doug spots land on the horizon.
Antarctica is really the last frontier, the highest, driest, windiest, coldest continent on the planet. It holds 90% of the world's ice and 70% of the world's fresh water. This place is unreal.
The good thing about this ship is that we were all focused on the mission of skiing. We had like 12 Zodiacs, and we could literally go anywhere we wanted to go skiing, as long as the Zodiac could land and we could get up off the glacier and get to where we could hike.
The locals seem happy enough to share their untouched terrain. When skiing uncharted terrain, it is precise planning and perfect execution that can make or break a trip.
When you're on a glacier, you always got to be careful of what you're doing. You know, there's holes to fall in. Where the glaciers meet the ocean, it tends to be really steep. Our talent on this trip were 3 great mountain guides who have just spent so much time in the mountains. It's second nature for them.
It's more complicated than just backcountry skiing. It's more like ski mountaineering. Harnesses and crampons and ice axes, just so we're traveling safely on the glacier.
Skiing hard snow it's tricky. Steep decked and turns here feel a little different than they feel in the Sierra, in the Tetons, in the Rockies. I think this snow seems to have been here longer than most of the snow that I've skied. When the consequences are high and there's exposure below, you really have to think about each turn and be concentrated. You know, a slip could mean you're gonna get wet. You gotta back off and take it a turn at a time. Feel each turn as you're coming through. Feel the snow. Make each turn count. Because a fall just isn't an option.